Hello everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Destiny video. I just built this Luminara and Padawan deck, so I'm going to break it down and describe the deck. So we're running Luminara for a single die, so we're running her at 13 points. So 10 health, 1 melee damage, 2 melee damage, focus, resource, special, and blank. And special is resolve one of your character dice, increasing its value by 2 or by 3 if it is a non-unique character die. That's why we're running our Padawans. So if we use her special to resolve, let's say the 1 damage side on the Padawan, it's going to do 4 damage, and it can do 5 damage if it's the 2 damage side. So again, that special can increase the damage on these Padawans to just be very, very good. So again, here's our Padawans. So they're 7 health, 1 melee, 1 melee, 2 melee, focus, resource, and blank. And while this character does not have an upgrade, the cost to attach a weapon to it is decreased by 1 for them. And we're running the Mos Eisley Spaceport. I think this is a little bit safer and slower decks than the Moisture Farm. So Moisture Farm is just claim, get a resource. With Mos Eisley Spaceport, you're probably not going to be claiming very often with this deck. This deck is a little bit slower because you have 3 characters that have to roll out individually, and so on. So if your opponent does claim this battlefield, they can still get a resource, but then they have to do the additional thing of returning one of their upgrades to their hand to get that resource. We're going to move into our upgrades. So I'm running 2 Force Illusion, so 1 resource. Before the attached character takes damage, you may discard cards from the top of your deck equal to that damage to block it, then discard this upgrade from play. So this will keep our characters alive a little bit longer. We have 2 Vibroknives, 2 resources. It has ambush, 1 melee, plus 2 melee, discard, resource, and blank. And while this die is in your pool, melee damage dealt by your dice, including this die, is unblockable. We have 2 Lightsabers, so 3 resources, 3 damage for a resource, plus 2 melee damage, 1 shield, 1 resource, special, and blank. It has redeploy, and also special is deal 2 unblockable damage to a character. We have 2 Force Illusion, or not Force Illusion, Force Protection, 3 resources, 1 disrupt, 1 discard, 1 resource, 2 specials, a blank, blue character only. And special is give 3 shields to your characters distributed as you wish. This will just help keep our characters alive with that special. We have 2 Force Heal, so 2 resources, blue character only, 1 shield, resource, special, and blank. And heal 1 damage from a character or spend 1 resource to heal 2 damage from a character. And finally, we have 2 1 of the Force, 4 resources, 3 range damage, 2 focus, 3 disrupt, 2 shields, 2 resources, blue character only, and before the attached character is defeated, this upgrade becomes a support for the rest of the game. So you can use it while it's on a character gets defeated, you still have that to roll out as a support. Go into our events here. I have 2 Overconfidence, 1 resource, spot a blue character to reroll 2 dice and remove 1 of those dice with the lowest value you choose in the case of a tie. So you can reroll your own dice, you can reroll your opponent's dice as well. You can reroll 1 of yours and 1 of your opponents, and just hope that your opponent gets the lower costed die, so that gets removed. I have 2 My Ally is a Force, 2 resources, ambush, resolve 1 of your blue dice without removing it from your pool. So you pay the 2 resources, resolve the die, it stays in your pool, and then you can resolve it again if you want to. So if I have 2 melee damage showing, I could play My Ally as a Force, do 2 damage, and then get ambush, and then resolve that die again, or even other melee damage dice as well. We'll come back to the card in a second with Luminara. So we have 2 guard. Remove 1 of your blue dice showing melee damage to remove a number of an opponent's dice equal to the value of the die you just removed. The most we're going to get out of this card with this deck is 3. So the Lightsabers have the 3 melee damage on them for a resource, but we can remove that and remove 3 of our opponent's dice. We have 2 Caution, 0 resources. Remove 1 of your character dice to give another character 3 shields. To go right along with that, we have 2 Riposte. Remove any number of shields from 1 of your characters, then deal damage to a character equal to the number of shields you just removed. 2 Deflect, 1 resource, spot a blue character, remove a die showing range damage, and deal half of that damage rounded up to a character. We have 2 Close Quarters Assault, cost 0. Count the number of dice you have showing melee damage and discard that many random cards from an opponent's hand. This can really shut down a lot of decks. So if you're playing against Pomaz, you might hit them with this, and they might end up discarding everything that they were going to use with post special. Also, it takes away options where if you discard their entire hand, they'll have nothing left to discard for rerolls. You have 2 Flank, so 1 resource. Play only if you have more ready characters than an opponent. Remove 1 of that opponent's dice. Running 3 characters, Flank goes pretty well with this deck. And finally, we have 2 All-In. 1 resource, resolve any number of your dice in the order of your choice. We're going to go back up to My Ally as a Force here for a moment. So again, Ambush, resolve 1 of your blue dice without removing it from your pool. So it stays in the pool. With Luminara, let's say you have Luminara out and one of your both Padawans. You could play My Ally as a Force on Luminara's special, resolve that special, and then resolve the Padawan's melee damage, increasing it by 3 since it's a non-unique character, and let's say doing 4 damage, so it's a 1 damage side, increasing it by 3, making it 4. So do 4 damage to a character, that die gets resolved and gets removed, but then you have Ambush from My Ally as a Force, resolving Luminara special again on, let's say, another Padawan die, and doing, let's say, 4 more damage. So, My Ally as a Force, resolve Luminara's special, use it on one of your Padawan dice, increasing it by 3, resolve that, goes back to your another action from Ambush, and then you repeat that process all over again. So, potentially, you could get, you had both Padawans, let's say, both Padawans on 2 damage, My Ally as a Force goes off, you can potentially get 10 damage in 2 actions, because you one action, play My Ally as a Force, second, and then resolve Luminara, one of the Padawans. Second action from Ambush, Luminara again, and the other Padawan. So you can do 10 potential damage in 1 turn. And if you have your Vibroknife in play, that damage that we just dealt with those, that special is unblockable. So you can get a lot of damage out. Again, this deck is going to be a little bit slower, so we're running the Mos Eisley Spaceport. We're probably not going to be claiming very often. And then we're also just running some healing, protection, getting shields, Force Illusion to block damage, or at least prevent some damage. My allies are one with the Force to potentially get out a lot of focus and have a support later in the game. And then some nice dice control with Overconfidence, Guard, Deflect, and Flank. So that is Luminara and 2 Padawans. I'm going to be doing another video, maybe a solo video of me just testing the deck out, maybe even testing against Pomaz, see how it does. But that's going to do it for this video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.